Welcome back to the Igniting Dreams Within podcast, where we solve life and business problems that transform businesses and individuals into happier and fulfilled ones. On this episode, we are talking about increasing your value in the marketplace. My friend, if you remain wherever you are and you never develop and increase your value in the marketplace, as the market changes, as the economy changes, you will be left useless. You will be rendered useless by improved technology, and even others who've sharpened and kept on evolving, kept on increasing their values in the marketplace. Just because you have been working, or you think that you are entitled to a higher pay, or that you think that you are entitled to an increase, does not mean that you deserve that increase. You don't get paid for the hour, but you get paid for the value that you bring to the hour. And however valuable you are in the marketplace is determined by the value you give your employer. It's determined by the value you bring to the marketplace, not because you think you are entitled to more value. You are not valuable based on what you think you are entitled to, but you are valuable based on the value you give and you bring to the marketplace. Enjoy this episode.
In this age wherein individuals are believed to be brands that can constitute a reasonable value, on Motivation Monday tonight, we introduce the Economic Value Series in the month of March by talking about increasing your value in the marketplace as an individual. Ebenezer Mamabolo, author and life coach, joins me now in studio to help us unpack this. You're more than welcome to join us in the motivation session. Our WhatsApp text line is 079-295-1212, 079-295-1212, and our SMS line is 47861. Start each SMS with the short code EFM. Each SMS is charged at R1.50. The SMS line is 47861. Start each SMS with the short code EFM. Each SMS is charged at R1.50. AB, good evening and welcome.
Good evening and thank you for having me.
How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm well, thank you. Do you think it's winter yet?
No, not yet.
It's just quite cold.
Yeah, it's just raining, and when it rains, different kinds of weathers, end up making other places hot, others cold.
Because a lot of people are actually saying that it would seem, you can't exactly say it's autumn or it's spring, and you can't know as such because we're in this age of climate change and the uncertainties that come with that. And I would imagine that because tonight we're talking about economic value, particularly looking at individuals, one has to be able to diversify their skill set to be able to meet whatever needs that come about, so one has to be as diverse as the weather condition that we seem to be having. One time it's raining and the next it's cold, 1 minute it's sunny and so forth. But what is this economic value at an individual level?
I would say that when we come into the value that one brings to the marketplace, it's determined because of the fact that now change is coming and we see a lot of companies employing artificial intelligence, employing technology and robots. Now we need to be challenged as individuals to say that now, yes, yesterday my current value to the marketplace was very valuable, and the skill sets that I had were needed in the marketplace to solve the problems that the company had or the nation had. But now, because things have changed, I also need to change. I need to up my game so that when change comes, that change does not eliminate me or my skill set or even render me useless. So I need to find a way that would help me to be able to be synchronized with the technology so that I would complement the technology and the technology would complement me so that together we can produce whatever it is that we need to produce as a company, we can produce whatever it is that we need to produce as a nation so that the value that the nation would be having or the value that the company would be having would be very good.
I recently came across an article wherein it was detailed that workers at a certain fast foods restaurant are facing possible job losses. And this is because of an introduction of a robot that apparently can execute their designated duty at a faster pace, and it doesn't require as much money as it would probably have to be if they were to pay these people and so forth. And one of the things that was then mentioned by the author just at the end of the article was the issue of the importance of one diversifying their skill set to meet the needs of the current job market. What have you noted to be a harsh pill to swallow, particularly to individuals on the reality of economic value?
You know, what I also noticed as harsh pills to swallow, and for those who might be sensitive, please don't be offended. The attempt is that we would challenge you. Some of the harsh pills to swallow is that just because you can't make ends meet in your life does not necessarily mean that you are paid less. Because sometimes you find that the lifestyle that one has chosen might be demanding a high income, and you find that because of the fact that my lifestyle, I've chosen a lifestyle that requires a high income, and versus the income that I'm getting, my company or my boss or wherever it is that I am at that particular marketplace, you might find that they do not regard me, or they don't think that I am worthy of that pay salary. For example, I remember one time I was attending an event, and after the event, and we had a chance to go for lunch, and I visited one of the fast food restaurants, and by then it was 2013, and to my surprise, that I found that there were no tellers, but just computers. There, you would go there, you place your orders, and you'd get the food that you wanted to order. And that was back in 2013. And fast forward to today, you'll find that we've got a lot of shops or a lot of supermarkets which are introducing this element of robots, self-service centers where they no longer need you. Now, if you find yourself that you were training all your life to become a teller, you find that skill set that you had now is in question. Do we value you as a teller that we would give you an opportunity to keep on providing those services, or do we have something that's efficient and more effective that we would able to increase the bottom line and help us as a company grow? Another pill that's harsh to swallow is that just because someone else at a different company maybe that person has got a raise, does not necessarily mean that you need to also get a raise. Because you might find that the value that particular person is bringing or is adding to that particular company is higher than the value that you would be giving. So you need to be able to appreciate that. Another thing would be that just because we are doing the same jobs, you might find that, no, I'm doing a particular job at a particular company and you are doing it at another company. Now, that does not necessarily mean that we should be on the same level or we should be earning the same thing. Just because we are doing the same job, you might find that the value that I am bringing in that particular company, let's say, for example, one of the things that we need to understand when we are looking at companies, we need to appreciate that there are systems that a company runs with. Like, for example, one of the franchises that's happening, you find that they've made sure that they've systematized everything. They know that for you to produce a particular order, you need to be spending maybe 2 minutes. Another one they know they've detailed the entire system to know that from you getting an order from a customer to the time that you would be delivering this, it would require maybe a maximum of 5 minutes. And when they are hiring you maybe as a teller or as a chef, they want you to be able to run that system effectively. Now, when you find that you are supposed to be using that system to produce those results in those 5 minutes, and you find that, no, you're not doing that. Let's say, for example, instead of you being productive in the company, using the company time, maybe sometimes you take some time maybe on Facebook, or you take some time on your social media, or even when you're supposed to be calling clients of the company, you're calling your family and friends. You are costing that particular company that has employed you valuable time. They might be losing the bottom line because now, instead of you being productive in the time that was supposed to be used for the company results, you are using it for your personal time. Now, when you look at those circumstances, you cannot just say that, no, because we are in the same place, or I've been working for this particular company for so many years, I deserve a pay raise, or maybe I deserve these benefits that someone else is getting somewhere else. You need to check that, am I bringing the enough value for the company that would make me worthy of that income raise, or that would make me worthy of that particular benefits that you would be looking for in your particular company. So make sure that. Another thing that we need to understand is that I like what happens. Maybe let me give an example of a couple of guys. There's a difference between a comedian who is just selling out maybe some small arenas of 10,000 and someone like Kevin Hart. That guy understands the systems that would help him to run a company. You find that you are wherever you are as a comedian, you are doing your comedy, but you don't understand the business end of me being a comedian. You don't understand the fact that there's a production line that needs to come into place for me to produce maybe my specials, or for me to produce whatever it is that you are producing. Now, because you are not at the same level, you can't say because Kevin Hart is also a comedian, therefore he's the highest paid comedian, he's earning maybe 400 million a year, then I also deserve. No, the fact that he knows something, or he's got enlightened, or he got some information regarding the industry that he's in, you cannot just say that, no, because we are in the same industry, industry, I deserve that particular pay raise. You also need to up or to increase your value in the marketplace that would make you to be worthy of that particular increase that you are demanding from the marketplace.
When one has this feeling of entitlement to, like you said in the example, deserving a pay raise because they've been in a company for quite some time, without particularly investing in continuing to capacitate themselves with new skills and so forth, what does that mean about the kind of state at which that person will be at that moment?
I would say that I like what one example that Les Brown used. He said that they are used to bees. People who would today, when they are looking back on their life, they'll say, no, I used to do 1, 2, 3, 4. I used to be 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, when you find yourself that you are not increasing your value in the marketplace, you might find that as things or as change comes, you would find yourself that you are replaced in the marketplace. So make sure that whatever it is that you are doing and whatever it is that you are seeking, if you are seeking to elevate or to increase whatever salary you are getting or to increase even your value in the marketplace, make sure that you are continually developing yourself and your craft so that when changes comes, you are able to adapt with those changes.
Let's talk a bit about job seekers, people who are continuing to apply for vacancies and they're not very lucky. What sort of advice would you give to them with regards to the importance of continuing to invest in themselves as a brand that could then have a certain return because of the kind of knowledge that they have? Because I would imagine it's one thing to have a certificate and cum laude from a particular field of study and not have any practical knowledge whatsoever. Yes. What sort of advice would you give, just particularly within the confines of our discussion tonight? I
would say that whilst you are seeking for that particular job you are in, make sure that you are continually developing yourself. And it's been found that these days, by the time you start a degree and by the time you finish the degree, the information that you learn throughout your degree is already useless in the marketplace. Now, because of that, you can't just say that because I'm looking for a job because I qualified for this, then it means that no, when I'm sitting and waiting for that particular job or waiting for employment, then maybe the employment will might find me. What I did for me, that was practical for me, was that when I knew that when I was studying my degree, I knew that when employers would be looking for candidates that they would hire, they are also looking for experience. So while if maybe someone or no company is employing you and would give you a salary, make sure that you volunteer. The other companies where you could be volunteering, yes, they might not give you the full salary that you would want, but they would give you something. But at the very same time, you're also gaining the experience that you need in the marketplace. So that tomorrow when they ask you how much experience you've got, then you can say that no, as compared to maybe someone who has got no experience, maybe you've got 6 months experience or even a year's experience. You already your value in the marketplace is already worth more than someone who's just sitting and saying that I'm waiting for a job. So make sure that whilst you are waiting for that opportunity to open, keep on preparing yourself, keep on sharpening your skills and your knowledge to make sure that your value keeps on increasing in the marketplace.
We're talking about increasing your value in the marketplace as an individual on Motivation Monday tonight with Ebenezer Mamabolo, author and life coach. Join us in this conversation. Our WhatsApp text line is 079-295-1212, 079-295-1212, and our SMS line is 47861. Start each SMS with the short code EFM. Each SMS is charged at R1.50. We'll continue with this motivation after the break. The time is 12 minutes to 8. This is Conversations on Energy FM 102.1 and Choice FM 101.1. We're talking about increasing one's value in the marketplace on Motivation Monday with Ebenezer Mamabolo. And if you would like to join us in this discussion, our WhatsApp text line is 079-295-1212, 079-295-1212, and our SMS line is 47861. Start each SMS with the short code EFM. Each SMS is charged at R1.50. And I think we need to just remind everyone, particularly those that could only be joining us now, to say we're not talking about the marketplace as in the JSEs or business particularly, because there's the business talk tomorrow around this time. But we're particularly talking about one, understanding the industries that they have an interest in working in, the industries that they have an interest in getting into, even as business individuals and so forth. Yes. Talk to us about the importance of one, understanding the nature of business, the nature of an institution that they have plans of getting into, or an institution that they're already within.
You know, one thing that we tend to forget is that when we are demanding maybe pay raises, or when we feel that we are owed a raise, we tend to forget what's really the nature of the environment or the industry that we are in. We tend to forget that, let's say, for example, in business sense, there are performance metrics that a business needs to meet. You find that if the company that I work for has been listed on the stock exchange, there are performance metrics that they need to meet for the investors. Now you might find that because of what's happening in the company, I just know that I work in a particular industry, but I don't know the back end of what's happening in that business. You need to maybe, not necessarily that you need to study that full business, but you need to have a fundamental understanding of how that business functions. Say, for example, there are performance metrics that are involved. If I am working maybe in the line, maybe I'm producing cars and I'm working maybe to screw the screws and whatever it is that I'm doing. There is the back end, there are the legal systems that are involved in that particular business, so that when faults happen, they would be able to mitigate those risks that would be happening. Maybe there's also an HR department, there are so many other departments. And when you are working for a business, you need to understand that as much as I might be adding my value in this particular corner, it's not only my corner that's holding this business. One thing that I usually hear most people saying, they would say that, my company makes this much amount of money at the end of the year, but I'm only getting paid a small amount of that money. The question would be then, what after the contract that you signed, you agreed that the duties that you'd be performing are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Beyond those duties that you agreed to perform them, what more value are you adding to the business? Now, and if you find that you are not adding more value to the business, you find that when they are supposed to be maybe the finance department, when they are supposed to be compiling a report of your particular department to see its performance and how it increased the profit margins, or if it lost money, you find that maybe because when you are thinking that no, because I'm in this department, then maybe you are not even giving the effort that you are supposed to be giving, saying that no, I'm paid less. You find that your department has dropped. So make sure that as you are trying to figure out how do I increase my value in the marketplace, understand which systems would be dependent on you that would make your value in the marketplace to be increased. And I remember one time, back in 2013, I was employed at a particular company and we were providing IT services. And what I noticed in that company was that after hours, there is no one who's helping the people who are staying behind. The management and the leadership has got no support from the IT department. And what I decided was that I'm not going to leave work early. I'm just going to stay up until maybe 6 p.m. so that whenever they've got problems that are related to the IT services, I'll be able to help and produce and help them solve those particular problems. And over time, I remember one time the CEO even came to our office, and he came late in the afternoon and said, "No, Mr. Mamabolo, we love the work that you are doing." And at one particular time, even the manager of our department even came and said, "No, the work that you are doing after hours, you are helping us. Maybe let me take you out for lunch tomorrow." Why? That happened because I saw that there was a need in my company that needed someone to fulfill that gap. Now, when you are, wherever you are in that particular department that you are in, as you are performing the duties that you've been given or the ones that you've agreed to perform those, make sure that you look for areas where you could add more value. And when you add more value, to the business, you'll be even building relationships. The people that would be, maybe who would be in charge of your increase or who would be in charge of your promotions, they are the ones whom you would be giving the support, because they are the ones who would be leaving late. Now, when you do that, when you are increasing your value and you are giving more than you are supposed to be given, tomorrow you will be the one who will be in line to get that promotion.
You talk about the importance of understanding a business or a sector or an institution.
Mm-hmm.
For a person who says, I want to do that, I'm a student at the University of Venda right now in my first, second, third or final year. Mm-hmm. I want to start doing that. I want to start understanding the nature of the operation of the kind of sector that I would like to get into, be it through employment or through entrepreneurship. Mm-hmm. Where does one start?
You can start by studying. If the industry that you want to go into has got some company doing the same services that are the companies that are registered on the stock exchange, just go on their websites or wherever they are issuing their financial statements, where you'll be reading reports about the business. Then you'd know that in terms of this business, these are what they are considering. This is the research that this company is doing. So make sure that you find those. If your company is listed on the stock exchange or it's publicly traded, make sure that you get those reports and those financial results. Now, beyond that, that, make sure that you study, read business articles. When you are reading your business articles, it would be helping you to understand. Sometimes when you are reading those articles, they would tell you that no, in terms of the performance of this business or in terms of how this industry is happening, we are seeing change, or this company is changing from doing 1, 2, 3, 4. So make sure that you read articles where you can find them, find financial reports, find business reports of whatever company it is that you are interested in. Even attend the industry meetings. Sometimes you find that particular industry that you want to be in has got some investments. Say, for example, you want to be in business. There are some business seminars that are happening. So when you are going into those seminars, you'll be learning about the industry. You'll be learning what's happening in the industry. So make sure that don't just say that I don't have any access to be studying the business. Look for whatever it is that you can gather online, whether it be in the form of reports or even going to the industry leading conferences that they are holding.
The issue of a wake-up call for people who work already, it would be when they are told that there's possible retrenchment because there's machinery that can do what you're doing at a better and less cost. And for students, it will probably be when one is doing their final year or they're finishing their postgraduate and they start sending those applications with no luck, that they start thinking, perhaps I should have done something earlier. Yes. How soon can one start capacitating themselves about the importance of always advancing their skills in the field that they're already working in the field that they would like to work in?
I would say as soon as today. You cannot afford to be waiting for tomorrow because you don't know what tomorrow would hold for you. So make sure that whatever industry it is that you are in and the industry that you are interested in, don't wait for resources. Whatever it is that you have, if you don't have access to maybe those conferences, use the data that you've got on your phone to be able to research and to be looking into that particular field, and even go visit your library, whether they are community libraries or whatever. Any source of information and knowledge that you have got at your disposal, use those particular sources. And you like now here on NGFM, we've got shows that would be teaching you about business. We've got everything that you need. Make sure that you also tune in all the time where you'll be learning whatever it is that we'll be discussing at any particular week.
Makulati FM at the University of Limpopo says, thank you for such a wonderful value-adding show. Well, if the education that we're getting now will be somehow outdated when we are done with our studies, why don't then the industry form some kind of partnership with institutions of higher learning to develop relevant curriculums?
I would say that sometimes it's not in the business interest of the particular institution that you are in to make sure that they do research. I remember one time when I was reading one article, some guy who said that, when they were creating this educational system, what they were looking for was that they wanted for someone who would be obedient, who would just go to work, sit on a desk. It was basically for the first industrial revolution, and things have changed today. Now, sometimes you find that it's very expensive for a particular institution to change the curriculum that's been working for maybe 10 years. Now they need to go and employ maybe new lecturers, and you might find that it's going to cost more. Now, because of those particular challenges, it might take longer for the institutions to be able to adapt to the changes. Now, but you can't just say that, no, because my institution is not offering this, then I'm not going to develop myself. So while you are waiting for those changes in the academic institutions that you are interested in or you are in, make sure that you are developing yourself. You can go online and listen or watch lectures in industries and conferences where you'll be finding people and experts who would be sharing that particular information for that industry.
So one must just take matters into their own hands.
Yes, you have to do that.
Closing comments, the importance of prioritizing skills development on an individual level, what would you say?
I would remind the viewers, the listeners, about one law. It's called the law of diminishing intents. And it simply states that if there's something that you should be doing now and you don't do it, there are high odds that you'll not do this. Now, whatever it is that you want to be doing, however value you want to find yourself valued in the marketplace, start today. Start now to be able to increase your value in the marketplace. Don't wait for the industry to change, or don't wait for the introduction of machinery or better technology so that then for you to be started thinking about improving yourself. While you are still wherever you are in that particular industry, make sure that you are continually developing yourself. And maybe in final, I would say that use what L. Nightingale said. He said that if you want to be an expert, just invest 1 hour every day studying that particular craft. So whatever industry that you are in, make sure that you invest a minimum of 1 hour every day studying that industry, studying the changes that are coming to the industry.
Our quote of the week?
The quote of the week simply comes from Jim Rohn, and he says that you don't get paid for the hour. but you get paid for the value that you bring to the hour.
Please just repeat that one more time. It must sink in.
You don't get paid for the hour that you are working at that particular company, but you get paid for the value that you bring to that hour that you are at that particular company.
Your contact details, please.
For all the social medias, you can find me at Ebenezer Mamabolo. Just look for search Ebenezer Mamabolo, send a friend request or follow me there. And if you want to book me as a speaker and as a coach, you can contact me on 071 639 7807.
Your number again?
071 639 7807.
Ebi Mamabolo, thank you. We will meet next Monday.
Thank you.
Coming up next on Energy FM is Hagi Leboro, and on Choice FM it's Stanley Brown. Thanks to the show's content producer Mami Morashwa and our technical producer Emmanuel Quinda. I am Rebecca Pala. Enjoy the rest of your evening.
Thank you for tuning in to this powerful episode and on the introduction of the Economic Value Series. Increase, keep on increasing your value in the market. Develop yourself, develop your gifts, sharpen your craft, and keep on keeping on, my friend. No matter what's happening in the market, no matter what's happening in technology and improvement, even in the fourth industrial revolution, as we are going about the fourth industrial revolution, those who never develop their value in the marketplace, those who keep on being happy and celebrating that they are used to be, they never rise above the limitations that the market has kept on them. If you keep on keeping, if you keep on increasing your value in the marketplace, there are no limits to how far and how high you can climb up the corporate ladder. So, my friend, keep on keeping on and keep on sharpening and developing your gift and increasing its value in the marketplace. Thank you for tuning in. I'll see you next time. Be blessed.